508 Sports Talk, turn it up, tap in.
All right, 508, welcome back. I'm here with my two guys, Andrew.
What's up, 508?
Ryan.
How's it going, 508?
All right, everybody, welcome back. We took like 2 weeks off this time. We don't like to take this much time off. But schedules are getting tight for everybody, especially with spring sports.
Baseball starting up.
What are you doing with spring sports?
Between my son's travel team, then his rec team, and then helping run the league. I mean, it's
You got plenty of time on your hands.
Yeah, plenty of time. Oh, yeah, and I have a job.
Yeah.
I need to
Right.
pay the bills,
Right.
wife and kids. We're just
Ryan, something similar going on?
Son's flag football. I work job, one of those jobs, two of those jobs.
Yeah.
Kids, we got it all.
We all got stuff going on. So once again, we want to thank Wayland City Youth Baseball League for allowing us to do this here. We wanted to kind of come back here just to kind of promote, especially next Sunday. If you guys ain't doing anything, anybody ain't, come down. It's opening day. It's the best day of the year around here. A lot of work, a lot of preparation goes into this league and to all the leagues in the area. To all, like he does flag football, they do travel. All of these leagues, it takes a lot. Lot of volunteers, just a lot of people to organize all this stuff for the kids. And just remember these people sometimes. When you bring your kids to sports, you bring them out there, just remember the people behind the scenes that are making it all happen for these kids, because 90% of them don't get paid.
Yeah, when we talk about multiple jobs, the rec league and all that stuff, that's not one of them.
They're not paying
as much as people might want to think we get paid.
Yeah. It's just, but again, just realize that, people. And again, thank you to Wayland City. Next Sunday, I think the parade starts at 10.
Yes.
10-ish.
10-ish.
Takes off right here from Ashley School in New Bedford. Come check it out. Again, Wayland City Youth Baseball League, opening day, 76 years. Come out, check it out. There'll be thousands of people here.
It should be sun too.
I know, it should be sun.
So
should be sunny and nice. So let's get things started, guys, right away. We were going to start it off a little differently as of yesterday, but then the Red Sox happened. Yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening. Cora, pretty much everybody but the pitching staff, but the pitching coaches, went. So Andrew, it's your favorite team. Let's talk about that a little bit.
It's a dangerous move letting me go first. But you open up that can of worms.
Well, I had to, because I know you have an opinion.
It's actually unbelievable, just the amount of denial that this Red Sox ownership group has and what's actually wrong with this team. People can complain about Alex Cora and how he has his flaws as a manager, but he's one of the best managers in baseball. And I guarantee you next year, whatever openings are up, if he wants to take an opening, he'll take an opening. You can't give a guy a crap overall roster, right? Or I shouldn't say crap, a extremely flawed
That's
roster.
what it is, I think. It's the flaws.
And expect him to win. And, guys like Jeff Passan will report that their internal projections and some external projections from other teams had them as a playoff team. But numbers don't win you games. And that's what this ownership group has really lost sight of, right? You need good players. You need to have the right players at the right time. And we've touched on this, but expecting Roman Anthony to be your the guy who is the engine that makes your offense go at 21 years old with 60 games under his belt is unreal. Even a guy like Xander Bogaerts, when he took over in 2013, you had a veteran lineup, the playoffs in 2013, but they asked him to just be at the bottom of the lineup. They had him play third base, and they said, hey, just play good defense at third base, focus on that, and just give us good at-bats. That's all they asked him for. And even the next year, it wasn't like he was great, but it was the year after that. Is finally when, and he came up as a 20, 21-year-old, right? So same thing with Devers. Like they brought him up, and they kind of eased him into it. But with Roman Anthony, they threw him right into it. Then you take out Devers, then you take out Bregman. It's just, there's so many issues with this team to just now suddenly say, oh, we're 10-17, and now you're the problem, and we're going to get rid of you. you know. And I mean, I could do a whole segment on Driveline and how that's the real underlying issue with this team on their hitting philosophy. How it failed in Philadelphia. The second they left Philadelphia, John Henry was like, "Ooh, more analytics," and they invested in Driveline, and that's what Christian Campbell is. Christian Campbell is a Driveline like
Guy.
baby.
Yeah, right.
And you know that's why they invested in him right away.
Is it
called
just
him up.
just to kind of touch base before Ryan gets his opinion? That drive line stuff in Philly, ain't they like done with it? It's apparent,
Yeah, so they got
apparently
rid of it. They got rid of it in 2022.
right.
The second they got rid of it, the Red Sox picked it up and have had it ever since.
Yeah, great move, guys.
Right, and the reason the Phillies got rid of him, the reason the Phillies got rid of him is because it was creating, in part, this kind of disconnect in their organization. So, like the baseball people and the scouting department was blaming the player development, and the player development was blaming the
So
scouting.
basically,
and
what's happening here, almost.
basically,
Yeah. So
and
yeah.
the common denominator, and that was right after they made the playoffs and lost to the Astros.
right.
So I could go on and on.
Yeah, we know.
Alex Cora is a scapegoat. I think he's one of the best managers in baseball. Very little is his fault. It's his ownership group. They need to sell the team. They're selling Yankees merchandise now.
Oh, that was
Like,
that was. Go ahead, Ryan. What opinions here?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of layers to the onion, but Andrew was probably the best one to talk about it. You would think, going into the season, I had my doubts about what the offense was going to look like. I said that, it was nice to see him score 17 runs yesterday, but, most of it was at the end of the game. It was one game. I thought the pitching was going to be awesome. I watched Crochet out there looking off at times. He looked good this week, but I don't know, it just doesn't look good. Someone has to take the fall. It's always usually the manager. I have friends that are cheering, get rid of Breslow, get rid of hating on everyone. It's dysfunctional. It sucks. 10-17 team. We were hoping they were going to be a playoff team, and it's not good right now. I kind of agree with Andrew. I do think Cora's a pretty good, manager, but that's my opinion. I know people that hate him. I don't know. I hope it gets better. It has to get better, right? I mean, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but it's just been a rough start to the year, and that was not a surprising move, in my opinion. Just seeing that happen, you need to see something, make a statement, and it's usually the manager that goes.
Right. I mean, and so my opinion, real quick, on the whole situation is kind of what you guys touched on. I think we, over the last week to two, we kind of it was starting to happen, but I think over the last week or two, we kind of seen it something has to give. This can't stay with media, the way the media was going, the way you started seeing Cora kind of. I'll admit, some of the stuff he did in the lineup, I don't think he necessarily thought was the best thing for the team. He was almost, to me, sending a message at some points to the people upstairs in the lineups he was creating. And what's the kid there? The kid that came from Milwaukee.
Caleb Durbin.
Caleb Durbin. So he's been a talking point all year. Why was he hitting number 2? You know why he was hitting number 2, in my opinion? I think, again, that was Cora sending a message. My number 2 hitter was Bregman. My number 2 hitter was Devers. This is the guy you guys brought in to replace him. So guess what? Yeah. I'm hitting him at number 2, which ain't the right move either. I think he was doing it a little bit. So that's creating the stuff you talked about that was happening in Philly to me, where it was kind of Breslow versus Cora. Cora versus the ownership group. So and again, it sucks because, again, I agree. I think the wrong guy got let go, in my opinion. I was kind of hoping, but the thing is I don't know what it would have done. I was kind of hoping there was people talking about Cora going upstairs, getting rid of Breslow, Cora going upstairs, Varitek kind of taking over but what would that change? I kind of agree that if Breslow stays, you needed to get rid of everybody.
Well,
opinion.
Well, what changes though is it's the things you can't really quantify, right? So even last year, when the Sox were trying to make deals, there was a reported feeling amongst the other GMs that the other GMs couldn't just talk to Breslow. He doesn't know how to relate to people.
Oh,
so he's a super smart guy, right? And he's John Henry loves him because he's super into analytics. But he just couldn't. When you negotiate these trades, sometimes you just got to have a personality to you.
That's the word.
Breslow couldn't do what Theo did and Jed Hoyer did back in 2003. If they flew to Arizona to try to get Kurt Schilling on Thanksgiving Day to agree to come to the Red Sox in a trade,
Right.
Breslow would fumble that because he can't sit down
doesn't
and
have
have
that.
that type of
Yeah.
thing, right? And then,
Yeah.
I mean, Cora could eventually be a good GM, but the Sox will never have him as a GM because he's too much of the guy. He's more like, I'm not calling him Theo. He's more like Theo than he is Breslow, where he wants that mix of, give me the numbers, but there's baseball stuff that you have to take into
Right.
account.
Hey, you would think Henry, with the success he had with Theo and that type of guy, well, Theo's there now still. I mean, obviously in a much lesser role when it comes to all of
question how
this.
much he's there, yeah.
But I honestly think that Cora's next job will be a GM. So
Well, he's talked about how he
I-
eventually wants to be a GM because with the age his family's at, with his kids and stuff, right? Being a GM, you're definitely a lot more flexible in being able to be there and spend time with your family rather than obviously as the manager, you're always traveling, right? As the GM, you can either be based in Boston, occasionally travel with the team, but you can kind of do that back and forth. You know, and the real thing about this, I think we touched about it sort of in the when we did our episode of Vote. The real issue here is, and it might be a bigger issue as the years go on with sports, is now allowing these private equity firms to invest in these teams. So that's part of it, right? So like John Henry sold, and his ownership group sold a part of their ownership to some private equity firms. You know, do you think those private equity firms care about winning
No.
baseball?
No.
Like we talked about, they just care about the profits. And one thing I can go back, I want to touch on that Alex Cora probably really irked him when you mentioned about doing these lineup things. Don't forget, 2 years ago when they sucked, kind of like they do now, which has been a theme. But he made a comment. Oh, when he re-signed his deal. Oh, yep, we talked. There's gonna be an investment in this team and this and that. And
I
blah,
remember
blah, blah.
that.
And then they
yes.
go out and they got Bregman, right? And you're like, okay, you know, they're making moves. Maybe they're going to build, right? You get Bregman, you have these young kids coming up. You're going to mix that together like you did in 07, right? In 07, you still had Manny, Ortiz, but you got Pedroia came up. Ellsbury came up.
Right.
You were kind of mixing it all together, right? And they did that for 1 year. Then they got rid of Cora's guy in Bregman, right? So where's all the investment going? So now if you're Alex Cora, you're like,
Yeah.
wait a second.
You lied
And
to
it's
me.
the same thing they did with Devers. That's why last year when people were blaming Devers for all this mess, and they're like, oh, he should have. I'm like, why? If someone lies to you and
Right.
tells you one thing and then goes and does something else, why are you now going to want to do what they
Yeah,
ask
you're
you
going to
do?
feel some kind of way
Same thing
about
happened
it.
with Cora.
Right.
It's becoming a pattern where they tell someone something just to get them what they want, then they like renege on it like the next day. So
So basically what we're saying is
sell the team.
sell the team. Sell the team. We're done. All right. So, again, we wanted to sell the Red Sox today. Apparently, Andrew has strong opinions on this.
It's my favorite team
I know,
of
I
all
know,
time.
I know,
Like,
I know.
I live and die by this Red
I
Sox
know.
team.
And it's hard when they've just been for so
No, and
long.
this ownership group was like the love of the town, where you win 4 World Series,
Right.
you turn it around, right? You're going in the right direction, and now they've gone completely the opposite way. And John Henry said, "Well, I've won you 4 World Series." Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
we want to keep winning.
Yeah,
we
that
don't
was
want to
just
stop winning.
that was yesterday. We
Oh,
don't care about
God.
yesterday around here. We're in Boston. We're in New England, buddy.
Yeah,
All right. So now
I might have to raise my wife above the Red Sox. My
she
39
should be.
years,
She
she might
should be.
She might finally.
She should
you
be.
know,
We got to let Andrew close Red Sox things. He's the man.
God.
All right.